Okay. Hello, family. Welcome into another special event, a special beat for the month of darkness, where I am joined by these lovely people to play a V5 Sabbat game. I'd like to introduce you to everybody before we jump into the game. So let's start with Cynthia Marie.
Hi, everyone. I am Cynthia Marie. You guys may know me from a little show called Ellie by Night, where I play Nellie G, fashionable toyader. I play a bunch of other TTRPGs, a lot of World of Darkness, and a lot of other kind of cool games. Did you want us to say our socials now or wait for later?
That is entirely up to you.
Cool. Find me on Twitter at SidDancer. I pop up on a whole bunch of things that I won't mention right now because it's a lot. So go check it out. Or if you want to see cool like makeup hair stuff that I do, Instagram, Cynthia__Marie. I'm speaking with a list because my fangs are epic right now. Anyway,
they are epic. They look amazing.
Today I'm playing a gang girl. Her name is Kia, and I'm not going to give you too much except for she's a kind of a country gang girl.
Mm-hmm. And we'll move on to someone who I'm sure none of you have ever heard of, Outstar.
Hi, you probably never heard of me. I am Tremere, at least today. Hi, I'm Outstar. I work for World of Darkness as the brand community developer, and I am, for the first time, I think, publicly playing as a Tremere today. And I'm always making fun of Tremere, so it's a bit of a change for me, but I am very much looking forward to it. And my Tremere is called Alina, and she is... I mean, you're going to see how she is. But yeah, that's basically it.
And Outstar's not playing a Tremere because I said she absolutely had to. I
gave Hadi 2 choices, and when she heard that one of these was Tremere, she said, yes, you gotta play Tremere, and I had no other choice.
It's true. Fair Bear.
Hi, I'm Fair. I do things on this website sometimes. Normally you can find me over on Rolling D20s playing Hakata Katura Baptiste. Today I will be playing a Banu Hakim Soraya Noor. My first time playing a Banu Hakim, actually, so we'll see how it goes.
Sure, everything will be fine.
It'll
and Amir or Prince?
Hey, I'm Amir Prince Hamza, better known as Temples of Dice around the internet. Pronouns he, him, and I am playing the Ventru Franklin Lucas, who is an enterprising businessman who wants to get that Bezos monies before it's all said and done.
Oh, no.
Thank you. And I am Hadi. I'm a community ambassador for World of Darkness, and I am your storyteller this evening. So without further ado, let us begin our V5 Sabbat one-shot, which I have titled To Know Your Darkness. Our scene begins in the Camarilla domain of Charlotte, North Carolina. 6 months ago, the Ventru Claudette Bernard took up the mantle as prince after the final death of the former one, which isn't all that important for tonight's story. Now, all of you have done your duty. You've sworn fealty to her, you kissed her ring. So why you have been summoned to her domain is a mystery. Right now, all of you are sitting just outside her office in a very opulent marble flooring, beautiful rosewood furniture, plush leather couches. But the only sound you hear is her ghoul receptionist typing endlessly on his computer. It's been about 15 minutes. How patient are you all being?
I'm not. Franklin is like, I understand that I'm waiting for a prince, but does she know who I am?
Are you speaking to the receptionist, or are you just speaking to your friends?
I'm speaking to the receptionist, and I'm speaking loudly. I am a descendant of Hardestat. I am a Ventru of an impeccable lineage. I do not have time to be waiting. Time is money, and my money is wasting right now.
Who gives two shits about your fucking lineage?
Soraya is just sitting kind of almost still as a statue, except she's picking at her nails with a dagger. Franklin has been going on this rant for about pretty much the full 15 minutes. So at this point, she's kind of just tuned him out. But she agrees, like, exactly why am I waiting here? I have things that I need to do.
She agrees silently or out loud?
She agrees silently, but you can see in her face she is like, come on, y'all know this is some bullshit right now, right?
Alina, are you joining them in their frustration, or are you reading a book?
Alina is reading a book, but she is glancing from above the book when any words are happening in the room. Not with much annoyance, actually. Deep inside, she's very happy that someone else is having this conversation. She doesn't want to really get on the bad side of whoever is the leader of this domain and the whole Camarilla jib jab. She just wants to get in behind everyone that does the talking. She doesn't want to be a part of any confrontation in here.
Well, after you all voice your displeasure, the receptionist, whose name is Dante, he takes one of his AirPods out of his ear and he goes, I'm sorry, did y'all say something?
Are we ever going to get on with this?
The prince will see you when she's ready. I'm but a simple ghoul. I know nothing of your politics. He moves to put the ear pod back in.
No. Put it down. If we have to sit in silence, and if we have to sit in silence and or listen to Franklin rant, you have to as well.
It is not a rant.
It was a
I am
rant.
simply explaining the situation.
What does your ancestry have to do with the situation?
I'm being disrespected openly right now, even by a prince, and I do not appreciate it.
Did not answer the question.
I'm gonna send Shaki to him.
Can I pet your dog?
She's not a dog. She's a gray wolf.
Oh my lord.
But sure, if you want to pet her, go fucking right ahead.
He backs away closer to the wall, away from his desk. What are you doing with a wolf?
You really gonna ask me that question?
I'm sorry. You work for a vampire, but you have a problem with a wolf.
Have
Pet.
you looked at her like this certainly seems like it should track? Or you're just another one of these simple-minded ghouls they don't teach anything to, of course.
Mm.
You might say I'm new.
That explains it.
We can break you in pretty easily.
We just had an appointment. We don't want any trouble, but I'm sure that Prince is very busy, and it would be great if we could just very quickly be done with the appointment, maybe, and just leave.
Yes, maybe I should buzz her.
That would be
You
great.
you didn't buzz her when we got here?
I did, but she's preoccupied.
Where is the buzzer, please?
He pushes a red button on his desk. How close is Shaki to him?
Up on the desk with paws, like just kind of like looking at it.
He's pushed his stool all the way to the wall as far as he can go. He's pushed the button and pushed his chair away.
I kind of just go, "Oh, what a good boy! Press the button."
I press the button, but I can't make her come out.
Do you do other tricks?
I can juggle.
Maybe press the button twice. We can try that.
He goes to press the button twice, but is a little too terrified of the wolf on top of his desk.
I smash the button over and over again. I just start
Ding,
smashing
ding,
it.
ding, 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 ding.
It makes no sound that you can hear. At that moment, the door opens. But it is not the prince you see in the doorway. It's a young woman. She's dressed in a very nice pantsuit, and she looks a little woozy. She looks a little not well, and she holds on to the side of the door frame as the door opens. Dante immediately stands up, runs over to the mini fridge next to his desk and pulls out a small bottle of orange juice. But as he
Oh.
moves to hand it to her, all of you can see that this woman is about to fall over. Do any of you attempt to catch her, or do you let her fall to the ground?
Soraya will try to catch her.
Would say with your particular skills, you could catch her without having to make a roll. And she falls into your arms.
Oh,
Her breathing is labored, and she looks really out of it.
Oh, you should have told us the prince was doing a blood drive today.
I'm not supposed
I
to
would have
talk
shown
about
up
her
early.
business. And he just sort of shoves the orange juice into this woman's arms.
I will help her to a chair.
Mhm.
And then leave her to her juice and cookies.
You can go in now, I guess.
Franklin just starts walking.
Mhm.
Doesn't even look at this person. Just
Dante sits down next to her and opens the orange juice for her and stays with her for a minute. Do you all follow Franklin into the office?
Yes, definitely.
I'd like to be the last one in because I turn around to Dante and give him a nice little growl. And then
He
walk in.
visibly jumps.
Or sit in the back of the office.
As the door closes behind you, Kia, you hear him say, "Really like your hair." As you enter the office, it is just as opulent in here as it is in the waiting room, maybe even more so. It's more modern, it's more expensive. And the windows show the entirety of the downtown Charlotte. Beautiful, especially at night. And she's also wearing a pantsuit, but this one is much nicer, better tailored, more expensive, dark blue. She's wearing very simple silver jewelry, necklace, bracelet, and rings. And her hair is long and blonde and pulled up into a bun that is far too tight for someone who would still notice such things, someone who still breathed, perhaps. And she turns to face all of you. "Well, I'm sorry I was keeping you waiting. I would assume all of you with eternity in front of you would not be so impatient."
I save my patience for people who prove that my patience is worth it.
"You've kissed my ring, Mr.
Indeed.
Lucas. And with that, you have admitted that I am worthy of your time and your loyalty. But I suppose, so we do not waste too much moonlight, I should get to the matter at hand. There is a problem in this domain. Now, there is a problem to the north of this domain, the Second Inquisition, and there are problems to the south of this domain, Anarch Uprising, these disgusting little Unbound. But the problem in our domain, I do not know the cause of it. About a week ago, my sheriff went missing. A day after that, my scourge. Now my seneschal, and several primogen of my council. Something is afoot, and I do not know. Frankly, I do not know what to do about it. I have conferred with the remaining primogen of all of you are represented here, the ones that are left, Gangrel, Tremere, Ventru, and Banu Hakim. They have all sent you to me, or recommended you, for your ambition, for your trustworthiness, and your capability. I hear rumors that the Sword of Cain has made a resurgence in these modern nights. I need you to investigate it. Don't all speak at once.
I, Please, someone who uses a sword can speak now. I'll hold my tongue for once.
Oh. Has hell frozen over?
Not unless you live in Cleveland.
That's a good one. So you want us to investigate your missing people and to see about the Sword of Cain.
I do not know if
Excuse-
the two are related.
Pardon my bluntness, but considering that this seems to be of the utmost importance, you still made us wait 15 minutes.
I've had a difficult evening, and I needed the time to refresh myself. If you
Right.
need an apology in order to feel more
No,
comfortable, I can offer you one.
I don't want an apology. You know what my price for these things are.
I do. Now,
Wait. There's a price for this?
I don't work for free. I don't know about you.
Oh, I love a fucking adventure. So if we're gonna jump into an adventure, we might as well. But if I'm getting paid for it,
I expect none of you to do this for free. That is not how this society operates. I can offer you all many things. I can offer you a major boon from me personally. If you want power, these primogen that are missing, well, the ones that remain, they can be replaced. If you would like their seat of power. Of course, I could go the other route. All of you have secrets that you may not want other kindred to know about. Secrets that I could use to make your unlives very unpleasant.
Excuse me. I'm very honored that you are willing to give this very important mission to us, and I do not want to underestimate my colleagues here, but we were talking about missing primogens and missing people in power. Does that mean that in this team here of us 3+1, we should solve this situation for you, or will we have any possible backup as well?
I do not want you to put yourselves unnecessarily in danger. Whatever is going on, this domain is being drained of kindred of the Ivory Tower. I need to know why. If they are leaving, if they have left for better domains in New York or power vacuums in Los Angeles, then that is something that can be dealt with in a different way. But if they are being taken out, well, that simply cannot stand. Do I amuse you, Soraya?
No. Well, I mean, this whole thing amuses me, but
Yeah, you don't lose
It
a
is what it is.
scourge, sheriff, seneschal, and several primogen without that being a little bit amusing. Because you see, I felt that threat of blackmail, and I appreciate it. That's a good
Mhm.
move. You aren't as powerful as you used to be. You need us.
I am more powerful than you could possibly comprehend, neonate. But if I go, the domain will fall.
Yeah, Sabbat they really mess up the supply chain.
You could say that. It has been, well, I don't know how many of you were around in the 1990s, but that was the last time they showed their faces on this side of the United States. For them to be back is terrible news for all of us, Anarch and Camarilla alike.
all right. So let's say we do embark on this adventure. Do you have anywhere for us to start, or do you just expect us to just go out into the darkness and figure it out ourselves?
Well, I have no doubt that someone of your clan could head out into the darkness and find things. seems to be what you people do. But no, I do have a source, an anarch, Nosferatu named Rosie. She's the one who told me it might be Sword of Cain. She wanted me to send her somebody who could listen to her story, find out who or what, if it even is Sabbat. She's not sure. And from me, she wants leave of this domain without any strings attached.
And where can we find this Nosferatu?
Well, she mingles among the homeless population over by the defunct library downtown.
Do we have any other leads, or is that where you believe we should get more information?
Unfortunately, young Tremere, if I had more Primogen and my sheriff here, I might have more leads for you. But if I did, I wouldn't need you in the first place.
Look at that, everyone. She said she needed us. I'll be happy to help you, Prince.
If you find out the information for me and bring it back to me, I'd be willing to offer you a minor boon for your trouble. If you take care of the problem, well, I would say that would be worthy of a major boon, and then some.
Well, we better be going then. Right?
Yes. Mm-hmm.
So out of curiosity, just real quick, I mean, I'm not one of like big society person here. Really don't give a fuck about politics. However, comma, boons are nice. But if people are disappearing, who's documenting these boons?
Do you not trust me to be able to keep track of my own accounting?
Nothing personal. I don't trust anyone.
I beg to differ. I beg to disagree. I think I know someone very close to you whom you trust. If you don't
Is it
want
the
anything
wolf?
bad to happen to them,
We might go.
Back to threats. Interesting. I
you
will
can
help
ask
you.
Mr. Lucas how our clan handles things.
I've heard enough from Mr. Lucas, quite honestly.
I believe you.
Yes, you heard him out there. He's very loud. I will help you, Prince, in exchange for whatever. I mean, again, you know my price. Regarding my secrets, feel free to share them with whomever you'd like. I don't really care.
That's very brave of you.
Has
Let's hope
nothing
I
to do
don't
with
have to take you
bravery.
up on that offer.
Okay.
Alina just holds the door up and tries to slow gesture to everyone to go.
Alina's like slow back out like the Homer Simpson gif, just into the bush.
Claudette sees you very willing to go, Alina. Are you so unambitious?
I am very much wanting to solve this situation. I think that is there something wrong with this?
As much as I would love to believe in the idea of altruism, I do not believe that is why you want to do it.
No,
Are you
but
afraid?
I did hear very clearly. I am sorry, my prince. There was a minor boon for information, major boon for dealing with the problem. We'll see what we can do, and then we're going to come back here to claim our prize. Is that right?
I like you much better than the Tremere Primogen we have now.
Oh,
Let me plant that idea in your mind.
well, the Primogen wouldn't be very happy to hear this.
They'll get over it.
Is it because the Primogen asks too many questions?
It's because the Primogen is disobedient.
So asks too many questions.
Can interpret it how you will. Mr. Lucas, you're awful quiet.
It's a blessing. honestly.
I think when we get down to the brass tacks, that this is a good business opportunity for all of us, including you, my prince.
Agreed.
I just had to see exactly where you were before I got there. Please don't take it personally. I appreciate what you've done for this city, and I appreciate what you've done for our clan. It's not disobedience, it is more of making sure that I'm making the most of my opportunities, especially if I'm facing off against Sabbat, because I might not come back. And if I don't come back, then there's a likelihood that your walls will come crumbling down as well.
That is undeniably true, Mr. Lucas. I would prefer that you all come back, or at the very least, one of you.
Kaya.
Hmm?
I think I'll have jobs for you in the future.
All right. Well, look, Prince, lady, ma'am. I was in it for the adventure, so you got me.
I'll never understand why my predecessor allowed Gangrel back into the Camarilla, but that's neither here nor there. Good luck. Get in touch with me when you have information. Or when you are successful. Whichever comes first. She walks over
And-
to the door, pushes past you, Alina, and opens it herself.
Franklin struts out,
Mhm.
head tall, smiling.
Yeah. Soraya follows much the same, very straight back, just not making eye contact with the prince, like she can't even be bothered.
I'm the last one out again with Shaki next to me. I just look at the prince and go, "Huh!" and like keep on moving.
Alina would actually.
Unfortunately, she does not react the same way as her receptionist. Yes, Alina.
Oh, that's fine. That's fine. It was just more of the like, you let a dog in your kingdom, and I'm going to show you that I'm a wolf instead.
Yes.
Alina doesn't want to particularly go out last. She lingers a bit and she looks around the room when she has the occasion, when the prince is not there because she's leading, and just trying to maybe get some more information on what the hell happened here before we entered, because that was interesting.
If you'd like, you can roll me either a wits insight or wits investigation.
I would love to roll wits plus insight if that's okay.
Of course. As Alina is doing that, Franklin, I would assume that you came here with a driver. I assume Franklin is above UberX.
Absolutely.
How does Franklin feel about a wolf in his car?
Not good, but necessary evil right now.
Okay, well, we'll deal with that in just a second. Alina, what
But
was your
Franklin
roll?
did have a thing before
Okay.
we leave.
We'll get to that in just a second. What was your roll?
3 successes.
You don't see anything strange or out of the ordinary here. You don't see any blood bags or anything, but if you looked in the very back of the room, there's a piece of furniture that does not go with the rest of this hyper-modern decor. It's what you might call a chaise lounge. And draped over it is a white sheet. There you can see little drops of blood. Would not be out of the norm for you to determine that she was merely taking her time feeding on this woman.
Interesting.
Do you leave her office?
Yes, I do leave. I just scoot very quickly before our wolf friends.
Yes. Franklin, please tell me if you are willing to coach this coterie, and coach meaning drive them, or not.
Oh yeah, I am like, please keep the animal off of the seats as much as you can. This is Tuscan leather. I really, really don't want any problem. It's hard to import right now. We're having supply chain issues.
Let's talk about this. First off, this is Shaki. If you'd like to introduce yourself to Shaki.
Sure. And I turn on awe and I introduce myself to Shaki.
Now, if you would like to use awe, on Shocky. Animals are a little different than humans. What attracts them? I would need you to. How many dots in animal ken do you have?
Ooh.
If you would like to make sure that the awe works on Shocky, I would like your dots in presence and then your animal ken, please.
Excellent. Okay. Well,
And for anyone wondering, I would ask the same if you would try and dominate Shocky.
I'm not going to try to dominate Shocky. What I do is I do the thing that normal people do, is hold my hand out for Shocky to sniff, to learn
that
who I
actually
am.
ended up being 2 successes.
Surprisingly. And I'm sorry, is it Kaya or Kia? I keep wanting to say Kia.
Kia.
Yeah, okay.
Kia,
So
okay.
I want to say it right. Excellent.
No worries.
So surprisingly, Kia, you watch Shocky be a little more friendly with Franklin than you would expect.
Mhm.
And she does go immediately up to him and sniffs at his suit coat.
Yeah, I'm also recognizing too that there is a little bit of a reaction from me, and I also too go to Franklin and start.
Is that entirely necessary?
I mean, you are attractive now, aren't you?
Yes, but Shocky, would you please keep your claws off of the leather? That is all I ask. You're free to head on laps, whatever. I have a lint roller, blah, blah, blah. No claws on seats.
I'd
Please.
utter a small phrase to Shocky, and she's gonna, if possible, jump up onto the seat very, very gingerly, very careful, and she's just gonna shake out everything.
Well, that would be a contested role since Franklin is attempting to influence Shocky.
No, I didn't say not to do that. I didn't say not to do that. I just said no claws.
Yeah.
Which it frustrates Franklin, but you did listen. So he's going to just bite his tongue, literally biting.
I suppose that's fair.
Is it all broken at this point?
Depends on if Franklin has shut it off yet. Before we do head down to the car, is there anything any of you would like to say to the prince or Dante or anyone else before we?
Oh, yes. I had a word for Dante.
Mm-hmm.
As soon as the prince is out of sight.
And when she re-enters back into her office after she shows all of you out in a very formal way.
Yep. And I drop him. I just open up my wallet. Here is $2,000. Just take this.
For me?
Yes, for you.
Well, why?
If the prince leaves, here's my card. Call this number immediately.
If she leaves, where's she going?
I don't know. If she leaves for any reason out of this building, you call me immediately.
Okay. And he takes it, puts it in his pocket.
Do we hear and see this?
How loud are you being?
I'm whispering.
You're whispering. Okay. But we see the bunny when we are kind of like a...
Oh, you see me go out in my pockets. You don't know what I hand him. But yeah, you definitely see me go in my pockets. I'm not hiding my movements. I'm just leaning in close to him, hand in pocket, this sort of thing.
If you really want to know how much he's doing, that's a wits insight.
Sure.
Unless you have heightened senses as a Tremere. Do you have aspects?
I do, actually. But I would have to yes, I guess I'm very curious what he's doing. So I am activating it, and I'm actually going to add my Auspex dots, right?
Yes, please.
To my roll. All right. That will be critical of 8 successes.
That's a lot of successes. You hear everything he says, everything that Dante says. With heightened senses, you can actually activate all senses if you wanted to. So you see the money. You could probably guess how much exactly it is. And you see the card, and you could probably read everything on the card of Franklin's various businesses and the LLCs and all the things that he has.
Right. I'm going to wait for Franklin to go forward towards the car, and then I'm going to approach Dante myself.
Well, there's a very awkward elevator ride for you all to take. You'd like to talk to him in there.
I actually
Or is it dead silence?
I actually would like to very quickly approach Dante after Franklin and just say, oh yeah, and we forgot that was also the payment for all the notes on the investigation that you had. Prince was telling us to go on this investigation on the current matters. You know, we need a little bit more information, if that's okay.
Well, I don't have any notes.
Oh, Prince told me that you have notes. So, do you? No? Oh, maybe the priest was wrong.
No, she doesn't let me take notes.
Oh, so
that's
maybe
not what I do.
So maybe she meant that you were supposed to make notes on what you know about this. Maybe I'm just imagining, but that's what Prince said, so I'm just asking.
Well, if I suppose I can tell you what I know.
Okay, I will make my notes then. That's fine.
Okay. No, she says we're not to vampire business. You don't make no notes. That's what she said.
It's alright. It's magical, Tremere, blood magic stuff. Yeah. Anyway, what's
magic is real?
Aren't you working for vampires?
Well, she doesn't do magic. At least she doesn't do it in front of me.
Never mind. We are kind of in a hurry. Can you please tell us what's on the agenda and all the notes that you have in your head? I guess.
An old woman, an old lady, came here maybe 2 nights ago. She didn't look well. She looked real sickly and all bundled up, even though, it's not that cold out.
Mm-hmm.
And she needed to see the prince. And I swear, when she was waiting, like all y'all were, for a second, I couldn't see her. It's like she disappeared in the room. And then the prince came out, and then she was suddenly there again. And I sat in the room, and she said that there's some strange priestess in the abandoned library, and that she's gathering up all the anarchs and all the thin bloods, whatever those are, and that she's causing a lot of problems, and she's given the princess information in exchange for I don't know what their relationship is, but getting out of the city scot-free was her words.
Thank you. That's going to be probably
and
enough.
then I don't remember anything for the rest of the day. It's weird.
I see. That's great. I hope the payment covers it. Thank you. Goodbye.
Thanks. Have a good night. And you enter the elevator?
Yes.
Okay. Awkward silence, or does anyone have anything to say to each other?
I'd actually like to talk to Soraya.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not quite sure your exact capabilities, but I'm thinking before we get into the fancy car, we should probably do a little bit of surveillance on the building just in case there's something hidden that we're not aware of that could follow us.
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Oh, good.
I was also thinking, if we could speak frankly, how bitchy was that comment about the gangrel? I just didn't
Right.
Completely uncalled for, right?
I just, it amazes me how often kindred separate themselves thinking that they're better than one another when reality we all got the same shit we got to deal with.
Yeah.
I look on Red Franklin.
I assume this elevator is tapped.
Oh, I don't. She hears this. That's fine. Like, she needs us. What is she gonna do?
It's okay. And then just
Thanks for the reminder.
Franklin is like, now's not the time, Franklin. Think about what you're about to say before you say it. This is where you show your true self. The others know to talk. And he's saying this all out loud. The others know to just talk and talk and talk. They talk at the wrong moments. They have to pick their spaces. Anyway.
Do you often just say your thoughts out loud?
Yes, because I have enough money to do mostly whatever I want. So.
Oh, so you have to talk to the only person who will listen to you, which is yourself.
Plenty of people will listen to me. All you have to do is rub the right incentive in front of them.
Mm-hmm. I'll listen to you for a price.
See? That simple. Everyone has a price.
Yeah, I'll take a pint or two of your blood.
Nope. I'm going to have to deny that one, unfortunately. Listen, you look like you could fight. Scrap, you have your Tremere magics, and you are. He looks at Kia and he's like, you're you. And you have that. And I imagine if we run into Sabbat, they're probably not going to negotiate.
Which is this skill that you have.
Oh no. Oh, no. Negotiations are not for Sabbat. No.
So you
dominate Sabbat.
talked about all of our strengths.
Yeah, that's what I'm. Thank you, Kia. That's what I'm getting at.
What's yours?
Alright.
What do you do?
Protecting you?
Move the jacket back and you see it holster. He pulls out one gun, pulls out the other. I am pretty fucking good with these.
Soraya pulls out her own guns, like, okay, and
I extend one of my claws.
So that's great. I do not want to underestimate any of your abilities with these and that, but aren't we maybe aiming for the minor boon situation with the prince and getting the information only? Because I want to, of course, underestimate you in here, but there are 4 of us, and whoever is out there took care of the primogens. So maybe we just get the information, try not to get into encounters, and get out. Is that...
I see why the prince would be interested in you being primogen. You have no ambition.
Yeah, you gotta dream big.
I have ambition to stay alive. Alive, I guess. It's not really alive, but you get what I mean. I kind of want to be still unliving in the next couple of nights. It's a
Awkward
bad...
silence. Just silence.
Yeah, everybody just kind of looks at Alina. It's like,
like.
I have one line: go big or go home. Right?
you know what? I actually agree with that. That's
Same.
good.
Yes.
So we're either gonna survive this together, or we're gonna have a really damn good adventure for somebody to talk about. And just saying, I'm good with the campfire, and I'm real good at telling tales. So
See, here's the thing, Alina. We might as well go big because of the Sabbat takeover. It's gonna be over for us anyway. So you might as well push
Or
for the
you do
major
the thing where you
boon.
hide in your little Tremere hidey holes for forever
Yes,
while
and then
everyone
let-
else dies
yes.
trying to fight them.
And hope that the Sabbat don't find you.
Soraya, does that mean that... excuse me, I've heard from, I guess, the grapevine, that your clan is also dabbling in a bit of magic. Does that mean that you feel comfortable with your usage of it in order to just go right in, things that would be useful in these situations? Is that right?
I have dabbled in blood sorcery, yes, if that's what you're asking.
Well,
I'd mostly prefer these, but whatever gets the job done.
I'm just curious whether you know anything that would be able to actually disarm whatever enemy we are going to be facing.
I would have to know who it is, maybe get a taste of them, if that makes sense.
Well, if you're open for any share of know-how, I might be a little bit more brave to go into the situation. But anyway, the homeless place, right? That's where you're heading.
I guess that's where we're going.
Yeah, that's
Ding.
where we're going.
Elevator has reached the garage.
That was
The
the
only-
longest elevator ride ever.
It really was. Slowest
Certainly not
elevator.
because the prince might use it to listen in on conversations. So, open to the underground garage. Y'all may pile in, as we know Shaki is going to not claw the Tuscan leather, but is going to shake out vigorously all over it, and all over the rest of you. What type of car is it, Franklin?
Oh, this is a a Lincoln Navigator stretched out. He had a feeling that if the prince was coming here, that he was going to end up in some stuff, like sending him. There's probably end up some stuff, doing stuff with other people, and he wanted to be prepared.
Mm-hmm. Tinted windows, bulletproof.
Of course.
Of course.
The whole works.
Was your driver waiting, or did you drive here?
Oh, the driver's waiting. I don't drive.
Yeah, come on.
Well, I have to ask these things.
I mean, I drive if I use my sports cars, but that is literally like once or twice a year.
Of course. So as you all pile into the car, and Franklin, you give the location to your driver, which is the defunct library. Prince didn't give you the name of it, but it's well known enough that the driver knows the general area of where it is. Let's do a little housekeeping while you drive. We're all talking about your guns. So let's talk exactly about what weapons you have in your arsenal. Franklin, you have 2 guns. What guns are they?
I have a Desert Eagle Mark 19 and a smaller 6-hour 365 pistol.
Okay. Anything else?
As far as weapons, no.
Okay. Now, something I like to do in my games, which none of you are going to like very much, is I like to make everyone make me 3 rouse checks to see where your hunger is at this evening.
Well, I rolled 1 and I failed, so let's see how this goes.
Okay.
None of my players like it very much until something happens because they're
I think
hungry.
it's fun. I gained 1 hunger.
Okay.
Same. 1 hunger for me.
Same.
I gain 2.
Okay. So everyone, besides Alina, is at 2 hunger. Alina, you're at 3 hunger. Fair. You have 2 guns as well. Do you know the caliber of the guns you have?
Sure. Give me like 10 minutes. I did not know you were going to ask me this question.
Well, if you how much damage? Well, for example, the guns that Franklin has are heavy duty guns. Those guns are going to do a lot of significant damage. They're +4 guns.
Yeah.
If you had, like, for example, like a 9mm, we're talking +2.
Yeah, she would have like 2 9mm for sure.
A lot more lightweight than what Franklin is carrying.
Lightweight because she doesn't want to have anything bulky on her when she's doing like any stealth work or anything like that. She also has some daggers on her as well.
Okay.
I think she does have a sword, but she left it like at home.
Okay.
'Cause you
So
know
we'll say 2 guns and throwing knives.
Yeah.
Okay. Kia,
Oh, I mean,
just the claws
and the teeth.
and the teeth. Sure. Biting attacks are always a good time. And you have Shocky as well, of course.
Yeah, and I do have a rather large nail filer.
Ooh, nicely sharpened.
Yeah, like a big metal one. Yeah, because
Yeah.
manicures are everything.
Of course. And Alina.
There's a bag on Alina's shoulder, and the bag is filled with a lot of weird things. Things of note. There's no firearms that she carries because she doesn't really trust herself that much with firearms. I guess she shot a few times in her own life, but not enough to rely on it. She does have a few different sharp items, though. There's for sure 1 dagger, 1 little knife, basically various...
Are they for combat purposes or ritual purposes?
They are, I guess one of the dagger is basically just like a small silver dagger that looks more towards the rituals than the combat. It's not like a combat knife, but she does probably have also a knife. It can be just like just a knife, not a butter knife, sure. But
it can be like a combat knife,
like a combat knife, yeah, but not a huge one, a quite small one.
No, one that folds in.
Yes, and very, also probably some.
He came in with another nail filer. Got it.
Yes, she also has in her bag. She has plenty of seeds, especially poppy seeds for some reason, and ribbons. White ribbons. There's a lot of white ribbon in there as well. There's a lighter as well, and other various assortment of items. Plus,
and the most important ingredient for a Tremere, the vitae inside of you.
Yes, which is actually there's not enough of it, so Alina
Not at
is
the
a little
moment.
bit jittery.
Not at the moment.
Can I say I have a machete too, just because I think that's dope?
Absolutely. You can absolutely have a machete. So, as the car drives, you're leaving the more, let's call it gentrified area where the prince has her domain into what's, yes.
As we're leaving, we get outside.
Yeah.
I think
We're ready
Soraya
for
and
the
I
climb.
wanted to do a little bit of quick surveillance around the area just to make sure there's A, nothing following us, and B, nothing that's a threat to the prince.
Well, where you left in the car was an underground parking garage.
So when we get up and out, can we like pull the car over for
Yeah.
like 2 seconds to do that?
Absolutely.
Cool. I'm gonna activate crap. Eyes of the Beast.
Would you like to wait till you get to the actual area, or are you trying to see if anyone is following you from the Prince's Haven?
Trying to see if anyone's following us from the Prince's Haven, also
Understood.
ensuring that the prince is okay.
Understood.
Excuse me, I forgot about a very important thing that would have in her bag, and that would be at least a few, I would assume 5, 6 syringes with anesthetic inside of them.
Yes.
Yes.
You said 5 or 6?
Yes. We can settle on 6 if that's okay.
That's a great number. Okay, so wits investigation for Soraya and Kia.
Could Alina join?
Absolutely. If any of you have heightened senses, please add your auspex.
Is it okay if Alina is not actively investigating, but basically doing the awareness check? So
Doing the what? Excuse me.
Awareness check. Wits plus awareness.
Yes.
Also, I'm using Eyes of the Beast for this as well to see within darkness. Does that help me at all in my roll?
Yes, I would say you can add. How many dots in protein do you have? 1 or 2? Let's
2.
take a look. Then add 2 extra dice to that.
Cool, thanks.
I have 5 successes with a 10 on my blood die.
Just on the blood die?
Yeah.
Do you have a 10 anywhere else?
Nope.
Okay, that's just a regular success.
Yeah.
4 successes for Kia and Alina.
3 successes on wits plus awareness.
3 successes. As you go topside, this is an extraordinarily nice area. It has beautiful restaurants, high-end boutiques. You see security cameras all over this office building. You can tell that they're new, brand spanking new, as if the prince is really concerned about her own personal safety. And if you look upwards on the roof of the building, there's security up there. Now, you can't tell from down here if it's the prince's security, but it's highly likely that it is. You don't see any strange people. You don't get any strange feeling that something is amiss here. Mostly what you get is that the prince is scared. Her bravado in her office, her attempting to use extortion and attempting to persuade you in equal measure is really covering up how scared she is. And this might be a little bit more dangerous than she let on. All of you would be aware that the prince is at least 500 years old. Her southern accent is put on.
All right. Well, I'm going to wait for Soraya to return.
Yeah, I do my slinking through the shadows BS and then come back.
I wouldn't call it BS. I'd call it very handy.
It is very handy, but you know.
And so, Franklin, you're watching the rest of your colleagues just sort of sneak around, slink around, look around, and you're, what, maybe checking stocks?
Yes, absolutely. Literally just newspaper,
Little night trading.
flicking through it, talking to my ghoul, asking about some stuff that's happening on sports, any teams that potentially might be up for sale, that sort of thing.
Any of you who are not familiar with Venture now would have seen the prince, the way she was acting, similar to Franklin. And Franklin, in this particularly dangerous situation, acting this way, you might think, oh God, maybe this is just a Venture thing. Absolutely cool in pressure.
I think I link back up with Kia and I'm just like, there's security everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Lots of cameras. I didn't see anybody following us, but it seems like she has made herself well protected, or as protected as you can be against the Sabbat.
Noted. I tried looking in the dark, couldn't see anything, so at least nothing worth noting.
As soon as Alina realizes that they have nothing to say that she didn't know already, she looks again in the direction of the location. This time to see whether there's anyone there to feed on down the streets. Are there any?
So before you actually leave to go to the library, you are going to try and feed in this much nicer area.
Okay, so it's super much nicer, and there's I guess there are no just random people sitting or hanging out in the streets. They're just like salarymen walking.
There are couples walking. It's rather late. It's probably around midnight. Couples who are walking maybe from a late dinner. But there's no one like waiting around on a bus because the buses don't really run here.
And
Everyone
it's
has a
pretty
car.
well lit as well, right?
It is, yes. It is exactly what you imagine when you think of something being gentrified.
Right, not here then.
All right.
Wait a bit.
Eating's not good around here anyway. I'll let you know that.
Yeah. But we'll eat there, right?
If we find something.
Okay.
Too much kale in these people's diets around here. Just
That's not inaccurate. So as the car drives to, and the street lights get dimmer, the buildings get more ramshackled, less nice, less pristine. Eventually, Franklin's driver pulls up, not exactly in front of. He's been the driver for Mr. Lucas long enough to know that doesn't want to roll up on an establishment like this where everyone can see him, but slightly away from an abandoned library. It has, and all of you can see from inside the car, it looks like at one time it had burned down and it has just never been repaired. It is, the roof is half missing and pieces of the columns have crumbled down and fallen onto the grass, which is overgrown. No one has mowed it. There's benches on the outside of it, and you see one single person sitting there. Can't really tell from this distance who they are. They are this Rosie the prince told you about. But here, Alina, there are people sleeping in the grass, under the trees, covered up to try and keep warm, sleeping under the rubble of the library, if you want to try and feed.
Yes. In the most possibly secluded place that this location has to offer.
Mm-hmm. You find a young man who's sleeping in a duffel bag and has all of his things tied to him. But he's deeply, deeply asleep and smells very much like he hasn't showered in a long time.
That's okay. Do I have to be particularly stealthy in this place, or is it good enough?
I would say not, no.
Okay.
I would say people wandering in and out would likely not rouse them. They would likely be used to that.
All right. Alina just walks among these people with her little notepads, just, checking up on people, seemingly like possibly a social worker. At least that's how she hopes she's looking like. And finally she approaches the person lying a little bit in the secluded zone, and there she checks the pulse. Actually, she makes sure that the pulse is beating and it's not too faint.
Despite how he might smell, the pulse is strong, and he seems fairly healthy.
She's going for it.
Mm-hmm. How many do you take?
2.
Okay. You know that's going to leave him in a much worse state than you found him. Are you okay with that?
Yes, it's necessary. It's an evening like this.
As you bend down, pierce his neck, of course, the smell, his body odor fills your nose, but it's quickly replaced by the absolute delicacy of his blood. And in his sleep, you can see his face. He smiles. It's peaceful. He smiles broader than probably he has in many, many nights. you can remove 2 of your hunger. And when you remove your fangs, he doesn't look as well as he did when you bent down. He's much, much paler and sleeping much more deeply than he should be.
Well, I pat his back, stand up, and go back to the team, feeling much better.
Mhm. Now the question is, team, are you approaching this lone person awake, sitting on a bench, excuse me?
Yes.
Yeah, 100%.
Just as you are.
I'm activating awe. I want people to notice that I'm here.
Okay.
And I'm looking at the building like, this looks like an excellent opportunity for a fixer-upper.
I would like to approach. I'd like to just stealth.
Of course. Or do you have Silence of Death or do you have Unseen Passage?
I have neither of those things.
Okay. Then you're just going to roll me a straight dex stealth roll.
Okay.
That's not going to keep you supernaturally hidden from anyone, but it will keep you quiet. If you succeed.
I got 2 successes.
I mean, you're not quiet.
Yeah.
But anyone paying any sort of attention to you, such as your team, they definitely see and hear you.
Well, no one's going to be paying attention to me because Franklin is just loud and has his awe.
That is fair. Kia, do you leave Shaki behind? Do you take her?
Oh no, Shaki is staying with me. I'm actually gonna go over to Alina real quick just to check. You good?
Yep, all fine. Yep.
Okay, just making sure because that was interesting way to feed. I've never seen anyone feed like. You know what? I'm just gonna leave it alone. Cool, great. Awkward moment.
Alina doesn't really know what she means. It was a absolutely regular way to feed, but she's not going to get deeper in the conversation.
Mm-hmm. Perhaps not right now.
Great. Well, glad you're good.
Yeah. What are we doing?
I think we're walking into the building.
Well,
There's
Franklin is
a
approaching
person.
Rosie on the
person.
bench, or this person
Oh.
who might be Rosie.
I'm just gonna lean against the car then.
You're not going to
fine
go join
with
the conversation?
Alina is going behind Franklin, joining him from behind.
Well, as Franklin approaches, awe activated. We are going to take a very short break. I hope Oatster, you have a break screen, at least the one from last week.
I do have a
earlier
break
this
screen,
week.
but I need to very quickly set it up, so bear
Oh,
with
I'm
me.
so sorry, because you gave me one from last week, so I just assumed you would use that one.
No, I do have it. I'm just going to throw it onto the stream as everyone is
Yay,
awkwardly
stream
saying
production.
I had a herniated disc last year, and I don't sit longer than an hour
Absolutely.
anymore.
Can someone do a very quick elevator music as I'm putting it on?
Elevator music? Not copyrighted elevator music. That's what this is. Much better than me.
And I have it on. All right, we'll be back.
we back?
Now we're back. Yes, we're
Okay.
back.
Thank you, everyone, for being patient with us as we took a little break. To sum up what has happened so far, this mishmash, this coterie, has met together to do a little job for the prince, who is afraid that Sabbat is in her domain because the sheriff, the scourge, and some primogen are missing. The only clue that they have to go on is a Nosferatu named Rosie, who is waiting for them outside an abandoned library. And Franklin decided to activate awe before approaching her. And the coterie is following, save for Kia, who is currently filing her nails by the car with her wolf. So Franklin, as you take the lead to Rosie, and you have awe activated, I did roll quite a bit of successes to resist your awe. If you would like to have it actively working against her, I would need you to make a roll.
Okay.
That's your charisma and your presence, please.
Got it. You know what? We're just gonna not.
No.
Well,
I got 2 successes.
okay.
It's just yeah.
Okay. Well, that doesn't beat her 5 successes
Yeah.
to resist
I
your awe.
figured that.
So as you all approach, she looks up at you and snorts. And what you see when you all look at her is an older woman, you'd guess at least in her 60s. She's very gaunt and bloodlessly pale skin, maybe even a little purplish. And she's wearing heavy winter clothes. Although it is North Carolina, it does snow here, but it doesn't get this cold this quickly. And she has a shopping cart next to her filled with a variety of things. She looks up at you, snorts at you, Franklin. I'm guessing you must be the Ventru.
I'm guessing you must be beautiful. Beautiful Rosie.
Flattery will get you absolutely nowhere with me.
Doesn't hurt to try.
Do you have a name?
Yeah, you can call me Franklin.
Speaking of beautiful, what about you? Looks at you, Soraya.
Oh, hi, I'm Soraya. It's lovely to meet you.
And what's your name, Four Eyes?
Oh, shit.
Alina, nice to meet you.
She looks around. And wolf lady over by the car.
Oh, don't worry about her.
If you say so.
That's Kia. She's lovely too.
What? Did you say something?
I just said you're very lovely.
Thanks. And like he finally like walks over to everybody.
She looks at you, Kia, for a significant.
Can I say something real quick? She smells like lavender and vanilla oils, like when she walks by, like just a like waft of that comes through.
Rosie smells terrible.
Great.
Like she's never washed the clothes that she's wearing. She looks at you, Kia, for a significant amount of time. Your sire would be rolling around in his grave, if that was even a thing, if he knew that you were in the ivory tower.
Come again?
Your sire. You're a gangrel, ain't you?
Yeah. I don't have a sire though. They like
We all have sires, baby.
I never met him. Her, them, I don't know.
Yeah, he was a prick. But he was anarch, at least.
I'll be damned.
All right, you're talking about some unnecessary fluff here. We're not going to go into some sect war shenanigans.
Wait. You talk about your lineage 24/7, Franklin. I just fucking found out that I have somebody of a lineage.
At this point, frankly, we know your full family tree, so you can let
Yeah,
her know
look,
about her.
it's
She can know
amazing that
about
I
her.
can pass that down to
Well,
my
that's what these blue
future.
bloods do. They have their own pedigree and everything, like those dogs in those shows.
No shit.
Oh,
I take back my comments about you.
Doesn't hurt my feelings.
Yeah, I mean, your face looking in the mirror probably hurt your feelings for plenty of time already. So
Wow.
wow.
Frankly.
Don't see a mirror in this cart.
yeah, that's probably good for everybody.
So okay, what was his fucking name then? Is it he?
Sure is.
Okay. And you say he's like rolling in his grave, so that means he's not fucking around anymore?
Not that I know of. Didn't have an exciting name either. Joe.
Yeah, no, that's definitely not exciting at all.
Let me guess. You were camping in the woods
Yeah. I was
with a bunch of students. Came across
Yep.
somebody that looked a little bit like a animal.
Yep.
Yeah. He felt really bad, if it's any consolation.
Wow, the fucker has feelings. It's good to know.
Clearly, he didn't feel too bad since they never met afterwards.
It's kind of a gangrel thing.
Mm.
I'm guessing y'all are real young.
How
Yeah.
young? How old is young to you?
Did you have electricity when you were a kid?
No.
Well, you just look young then.
Thank
Or
you.
you haven't been in the Camarilla very long. One or the other.
I'll let you figure that one out.
I think I already know. But it's not really important, at least not tonight. Prince sent you to me, I assume.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
What did she tell you?
You had information about our missing people and who might be after them.
Well, forgive me for not being upfront with the prince right in front of her face when I did meet her the other night. You see, not Ivory Tower. Not anymore. And I don't know what she would do to me if I told her the truth.
Oh, I don't necessarily care if you told her the truth or not, as long as you tell us the truth now.
That's sort of the point.
What's the truth?
Her people are dead. Final dead.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yep.
True dead.
kind of assumed that, to be honest.
You may not know this, because you're living up in your fancy little tower. You don't look
Bold
down on us very
assumption.
often.
Very bold assumption.
You don't live on my side of town. I
I
don't see you
don't?
at any rants. I don't see you in the Anarch bars. There ain't much of us left. My coterie, they're gone too. Any Anarchs that were left are fleeing further south. The Sabbat are here. They're not just
Where-
here.
Where's all those badass Bruja?
It's hard to be badass when all of the Thin Bloods have been inducted into some sort of cult and they decide to attack everyone's havens all at once with abandon, with no care for their unlife, and drain you dry.
Are you saying
Point of clarification, Thin Bloods?
Thinbloods are behind this?
No, but they're a part of it. You know, when you have someone who's not full-blooded, doesn't really belong to the Anarchs, doesn't really belong to the Camarilla, boy, is it easy to sway them to your side. Fanaticism is the word here.
So the Sabbat recruited the Thin Bloods because, oh, we don't have a home. And so now they've taken down all your people and they want to take down our people. And this is ripe for the buddy cop team up.
I can't help you. Combat, it's not my thing. Hiding, that's my thing. Rats, my eyes and ears around the city, that's my thing. I can't speak for the Sabbat. I don't know what they've been up to. I don't know if they're even whole the way they used to be. But I do know there's one here. She's behind all of it. Maybe if you cut off the head, the snake will die.
And who is that she?
She calls herself Feral. And she's in that library right now. She's alone. There's no better time than now.
There's a butt here somewhere. There's something.
Yeah, I'm just waiting for the
Yeah.
other shoe to drop.
She won't be alone forever.
This is. I'm sorry if I'm assuming here, but that's a very weirdly good situation, and there are no good situations like this for us usually. I understand that you are not in for the combat, you're in for the hiding, but haven't you tried to use the situation yourself?
In what way? What am I supposed to do?
I mean, you assume that we are better suited for the job.
I assume the prince chose you all for a reason.
Okay.
I'm more than just an old lady in appearance. I'm an old lady on the inside, too. You know, just because we're embraced doesn't mean we don't take all of the flaws of our humanity with us. My knees, my back, they ache.
Rosie, is there anything we can do for you to make sure that you come out of this alive?
Probably the only reason why I was able to hide amongst the anarchs as long as I have is because the prince owed me some things. I'm squashing the debt if she takes care of the Sabbat and lets me be in peace.
All right.
I want to do a thing.
Mm.
I'm going to lock eyes with Rosie.
Mhm.
And I'm going to be like, I feel like there's something you're not telling me. And I need to know it. Tell me everything you know about the Sabbat in this situation. And I'm going to use mesmerize.
That's an intelligence and resolve.
And I'm also going
Against
to
it.
arouse for my manipulation.
Please do. And tell me if you get hungrier.
I do get hungrier.
And suddenly, your gut feels like it's being stabbed with 1,000 little needles as the hunger rises in your throat. That is a messy critical for Rosie. But it's on a passive ability, so it's not going to affect her in any way. Plus 3 more successes for a total of 7.
All right. Let me see. Manipulation dominate. All right. Jesus. Okay, that's a lot of dice.
Sounds like maracas.
I'm really glad I put most of her dots in intelligence. Or am I?
Mm.
And I'm also going to burn some willpower here as well.
Please do.
Get some insurance here. That is
God.
5, 9, 10 successes.
Her eyes make a strange glaze as Franklin's dominate abilities take over her mind, force her to tell the truth or anything that she's holding back. I know so much. I know Feral. I used to be in the Sabbat. A long time ago, there was a war in the 90s. I don't know if any of you remember it. Up and down the East Coast. I left after that. I knew her from then. And that's how I knew they were here. But I was too late to stop. I can't stop her. I can't stop it. She's more fanatical than she ever was before. So I don't know what's happened.
Huh.
Does she know that you're here?
I don't know.
What makes her so powerful?
Diablerie.
Mm-hmm.
Just make sure we're not walking into a trap here. Is there anything else we need to know about Feral?
She has bloodhounds, dogs. She feeds her blood and uses blood magic on to make stronger, more vicious. They smell out vampires for her to feed on.
Hmm.
But I wasn't lying when I said that she's alone right now. They're preparing a blood feast, something that they do before a war party.
Are her bloodhounds with her?
Always. Maybe without their leader, this will stop. And then if they come back, the prince will be better prepared.
Yeah, if the whole thing about being in the East Coast area stands true, when you start to cut off the heads of the leaders, they start to fall apart.
That's what happened last time. That's why I was able to get away from my pack.
I am not going to assume that things will turn out the same way as they did last time, because they may have learned better since then.
You would think
Let's
so.
hope not.
You would think
I
so,
hope
but
not.
they're different. She's
But I
fanatic.
expect.
I mean, we always were fanatic, but now it's
Yes.
a death cult.
But fanatics tend to have backup plans. You're not always just flying by the seat of your pants. That's how cults work.
Look, I can't get into dogma with you about the Dark Father. You can only get it if you've ridden with the Sabbat. I'm sorry. That's the best way I can explain it.
It's fine.
Well, I assume that you know all the things about the current situation because you saw the insides of the location. You snuck
My
in.
rats did.
The rats. Okay.
They're in there right now. And you see out of her shopping cart, a couple of rats pop up through the pieces of paper and clothing that's in there to look at all of you.
Do your rats maybe know any alternative ways of entering the place that may be safer than the main doors?
From above. The roof, she points, it's collapsed on one side in the back.
Oh, okay. I mean, I assume that we would be very much visible if we tried that entrance as well, but...
From the roof, there's a second-story balcony from the inside. We used to have a lot of nice books in there back in the day. If you're quiet, she may not hear you. Of course, you could try going in through the storm cellar, but it's chained, and that might be a little loud.
Alina's going to turn to the whole coterie and say, see, this is this counts like a minor boon situation. We know exactly where the person is. We know exactly the location. We know who's behind it. Maybe we can go back now and tell them that the prince and the Dante and other people there. The details?
And miss out on an opportunity to kick this person to the curb.
Rosie starts laughing, a desperate, not comedic laugh. You're missing out on more than adventure. She won't be alone forever.
Mm-hmm.
Once they have their blood feast, you're all gonna die. We're all gonna
those
die.
Things. Yeah, this bad.
We have to stop her now.
I'm just assuming she
Alina.
ate the primogens.
Wow, you smell bad, honestly. And I don't really breathe too often, but Jesus.
Oh my God. Really,
and
Franklin? Right now?
Franklin moves closer to Kia.
Mhm.
Just like, okay, that's lavender, calming.
I do it to keep people like you away from me. Just FYI.
I'll have to keep that in mind, Rosie.
No one bothers you when you look like this and smell like this.
I promise you, I wouldn't come to you in any other situation than this one. So, like, you don't have to worry about people like me.
Well, thank God for small favors.
My seat in the ivory tower is kind of nice. It feels good on the butt cheeks.
I'm not even gonna try to make a joke of this. Okay. Is there anything else we need from Rosie?
Nah, you can leave.
I don't think so. Good luck, Rosie.
Yeah. Let us know if you need anything.
Not me.
I'll let you know
Yeah.
if you make it out of there tonight.
All
She
right.
stands up, grabs her shopping cart. More little rats pop their heads up. And as she walks away down the path, down towards the street, you see a whole bunch of little rats coming out of the library and running to catch up with her.
We just kind of like wave at them.
Mhm.
Yeah.
They see you, but they're more worried about where she's going.
Mm-hmm. Right. So, couple ways in, we have a small time frame.
So I assume that the only possible plan that we're currently considering is barging in. Right?
Yeah, you got a better idea outside of just going back to the prince?
Yeah, outside of that one, no.
I mean, there's the roof access, but I mean, I say
I'll
we
climb
just
up
go through the
there.
front
I don't want to
door.
be close to this thing. Absolutely not.
You're gonna climb up to the roof?
I'll try. I
Maybe-
can't promise you I'll be quiet.
maybe we
Y'all can get in there
split.
first.
Yeah.
Can you actually do that in those nice little dress shoes you got there?
Yeah, don't want to scuff your Italian leather.
Listen, I have adapted to wearing nice things all the time. I am fully capable.
That bespoke suit is going to get torn up.
All right, this is why you have money to buy more suits.
I run my claws ever so gently down the lapels of the suit.
Franklin, do you allow this?
Yes, because I'm not expecting it.
How?
Franklin's low key into
How deeply do you run your fingers down those lapels?
Just enough to kind of mess up the thread a little bit so you can see the lines, but it's not ripping it. Like, you know, you do that in like if you wear tights, you can kind of see like the line, like kind of like that.
I will ask Franklin if that is enough of an insult to your dignitas. Or do you think you do not need to roll your unspent willpower?
No, because Franklin's going to respond and just go, I usually save that for my place.
Play your cards right, might be going back there.
Try not dying first.
I think you should consider that over me.
That's awkward.
Hand out. If we survive, then we survive.
Good boy. And she like walks away.
I love this. I just want to sit back now.
Not where I thought the story was going to go, but okay, you know, I'm here for it. Alita just sort of Homer Simpsons into the brush, I feel like.
I think
Yeah.
Soraya like clocks all this and kind of like quirks a brow, but she's like,
Mhm.
whatever.
It's a little flirting before a
You'd-
Sabbat attack.
Yes.
I mean, we might die. Might
He's
as
a
Flirting
well.
before imminent
And-
death is.
in her head,
I'm-
Soraya's like, I hope Kia tells me about what happens later. Have to
Okay.
go out for coffee, talk about it.
Alina tries to hide the look of utter disgust on her face as kindred are discussing romance. Corpses are discussing romance. And she looks at all of them and waves her hands awkwardly, like, maybe we should split then and have a better chance if we get Franklin and Kia take the roof. And we could go from the main door, maybe. That sounds good.
Potentially. Potentially. That is a smart idea to split. Although I would venture to say that the Ventru is a lot better maybe at going in the front because they have that woo like situation that you know
Yeah.
that
So
Draw
you use
attention
me
to
as
it.
bait?
You use yourself as bait all the time.
I mean you just did it to Rosie.
You literally
You're
just did it.
not wrong. But I trust. You know what? Fuck it. This is where we are. Let's do it. Y'all better
And
be
I think
close. Because if y'all not,
Soraya,
I'm going to haunt you. I promise you. I will be in your dreams every night. You will never be able to get rid of me. I will talk about my lineage every day for the rest of your own life.
So it would just be like you being alive then.
Yes, but you
So
don't have to deal
nothing
with
would
me every day.
change. That's true.
well, now that we got that
Well-
settled,
Yeah.
Soraya, I think you're much more covert than I am. Would you be better going out?
Yeah, I'll climb up.
Mhm.
Which
Right.
then leaves Alina. Where are you most comfortable?
I can go behind Franklin. That's okay.
All right. Do you need I don't know you wooby magic people, but do you need time to prep something or you just go in finger guns blazing?
Alina just puts her hand in her bag and squeezes something inside. I'm good. I'm ready with the wooby wooby.
Okay.
It's mostly blood. You need blood. She has blood.
That sounds gross and exciting at the same time. Great.
It's actually pretty fascinating. We should talk.
Absolutely. Let's talk after this.
Great. We'll have some blood coffee while we're at it.
Yes.
Cool. So we've got our
Franklin, Franklin, you could be at home counting your money right now.
Yeah, this is not ideal. So Franklin's took off the jacket, slipped off the shoes, rolls up the sleeves. It's got the guns out of the holsters. Are like, okay, I'm ready.
Wait, are you in your socks?
Yes.
Your silk socks?
No, they're not silk.
Please tell me they have patterns on them.
Of course they have patterns. You have to have that little bit of flair.
You have smiley faces on them?
They are a ghost on them. They're like little ghosts that say boo.
It's
We're
appropriate
going
for
to
the
talk
season.
about those later.
So for the storyteller's clarification, Franklin and Alina are going in through the front, and Soraya and Kia are going to through the collapsed roof.
Yep.
What about your wolf companion?
Right.
Can Shaki stay with us, maybe?
Yeah, so I actually slid open a little bit into the hand and palm area, and I'm gonna lean down to Shaki and feed her a little bit of my
Sure.
blood.
So you will the vitae out. She does lap
Mhm.
at it. Make me a rouse check, please, Kia. See how much she takes.
Nice. No successes. So
That's hunger 3, just like Franklin. Okay.
great.
She takes a little bit more than you expected.
Okay. I'm just gonna pet her, and I'm gonna say another word that probably people won't understand. It's in Spanish, and I'm gonna have her stay close to Franklin.
Okay.
Can I assume that in my bag of varieties, I also have some human blood? Of course, not drinkable by me because it's old, but it's still blood. Some little
Human
vials.
blood that's been treated in a ritualistic way, or just plain old bagged blood?
Just plain blood from bags, but in small vials, basically.
I would say so, yes. You are Tremere, aren't you?
Of course.
I would say you'd have a variety of blood at your disposal, both within and without.
Great.
So, before Franklin and Alina go in, let's proceed with climbing onto the roof of this library. Now, there is a tree, so that'll make it slightly easier. So I'll lower the difficulty a little bit if you climb on the tree first and then jump over to the roof. But I would need everyone to make me, or at least Kia and Soraya, Dex athletics rolls, please. See how successful you are and how loud you are. And I don't believe either of you have cat's grace or anything like that.
Mm-mm.
5 successes.
I got 2 successes.
Kia, not only are you quick, capable, and quiet, you are almost feline-like in nature as you scramble up the tree, jump onto the roof, and slide down to the interior of the library, bonelessly, silently. Soraya, not so much.
That.
Soraya, you make it up the tree, you get over to the library, but you don't quite make it, and you're hanging off the edge now.
Okay.
Kia, if you'd like to try and help her, you can. Make me one more Dex athletics roll to see if you're quick enough to grab her before she makes too much noise, either falling or trying to scramble up the building.
A dex roll.
Dex athletics one more time.
Copy. Whoop, one more dice there.
Four successes, more than enough. So, Soraya, as you grab onto the ledge and your feet start scraping against the outside, which is not quiet,
Nope.
Kia is quick and fast. And she grabs onto the back of your shirt all the way down almost to your pants and pulls you up the rest of the way.
All right, I gotcha.
I just imagine Kia's like sharp claws sort of shredding like the fabric of my shirt and like the
I would
back
imagine
of my
so,
pants.
yes.
Like, I'm not Franklin. I don't really care about these things.
Oh, good.
Luckily, clothes, unlike kindred lives, are replaceable.
Yes.
And I'll tell
You
you,
got
what
it?
I'll tell you what you see in just a minute. Franklin and Alina, excuse me, not Aaliyah. Do you enter loudly, quietly? How do you go about doing this? You are entering in the front.
I'm not sneaking, but I took the shoes off so they wouldn't make the click click on the ground. So I walk in and I am waiting to see if I see them up on the balcony before I move in any closer. I'm basically right in the front doorway and I'm like, listen, I'm trusting you on this. If this thing comes after me, I need you to throw your hoodoo voodoo all over it. Just rub it down with your magics because it will probably kill me very, very fast. This is why I send in other people to do stuff before me. I'm taking a chance and trusting y'all, which is a terrible goddamn idea, but I'm doing it anyway.
Franklin, don't you have guns? Also,
Yes.
aren't you like pretty sturdy? Because Ventrue do that sometimes.
Yeah, no, that my sire didn't pass that down to me or something. But you can't really mess with my head.
Okay, but you can look in the eyes of whatever is coming at you and say stop, and they will stop, possibly.
I can try.
Then try, and if that fails, I'll do the hoodoo voodoo doo.
Yeah, great. I appreciate that. That's what I'm looking forward to. Don't get it on me.
Okay, and Alina very awkwardly takes her shoes off as well, and just
She
walks
put them
off
in her
the
bag.
step. Yes, she absolutely, yeah. They are nice shoes.
Who opens the door?
Franklin.
All right.
Deep breath. Don't even need to breathe, but I take a deep breath anyway. You got this, Franklin. You got this. You were made for this. You got this. Pushes the door open.
I think even on the roof, Kia and Soraya just roll their
Wait.
eyes.
Alina wants to do something before he opens the doors.
Ooh, yes, please.
Yes.
She wants to actively use premonition.
Ooh.
Roll me. Actually, I don't remember the roll for that. It's your
It's
auspex and
Resolve and
resolve and auspex. Yes, please. Give me that roll.
Okay. I guess heightened senses doesn't actually help with that, right? So-
Not with premonition, no.
Okay.
We're looking at supernatural senses here.
I do have 3 successes. I can willpower. No, okay, 3 successes.
That's entirely up to you.
Okay.
No time like the present, but in a lunch.
Actually, no, it wouldn't be worth it because I could only reroll 1 success in here. So yeah, 3.
So do you physically stop Franklin before you enter the building, before
Yeah,
he opens it?
Wait.
What?
She has closed eyes and she just like very intensely thinks about something.
Mm-hmm.
Jesus Christ, don't grab me like that. I'm already on, my nerves are on edge.
Sorry.
A flurry of images plays in front of your mind as you open it up to the ethereal senses beyond this world. It's hard to sift through them with only 3 successes, but some are crystal clear. You see a woman dressed like a nun, reading from a book. The book is old, ancient maybe. She's talking about Cain. She's talking about Malkavians. She's talking about Gangrel. She's reading commands to kindred from the Dark Father. And you see she has an entire gathering of young licks, young vampires, enthralled with her words. She's commanding them, telling them that the only way that they will ever fulfill themselves as a vampire, to fulfill the wishes and the promises of the Dark Father, is if they take the blood of those who are unworthy. And she holds out her hand. They all stand up in unison, run out the doors of this church like bats into the night. And then you come back, and Franklin is staring at you as you've drifted off somewhere.
We took the blood of the unworthy for the Dark Father. I'm sorry, it makes no sense, but if we don't want to do a confrontation immediately after we see her, if she sees you, if there's contact, eye contact, whatever, you can tell her, we took blood of the unworthy for the Dark Father. Can you remember this sentence?
We took blood of the unworthy for the Dark Father.
Yes. That's... I think that's proper. I just try to tap into whatever she's into. I hope that's accurate. We can always use it. If it doesn't work, we can do the hoodoo-doo-doo. Okay?
If it doesn't work, she's probably going to kill us. So
Yeah, she's going to kill us
that's what we
anyway.
got to go for us.
We can try. Yeah, it's fine.
How many dots in a cult do you have, Alita?
Plenty. 4.
Make me an intelligence and occult roll. See if you can try and discern what it is that you saw.
Thank you. That would be 4 successes.
That's a substantial amount.
Mm-hmm.
Based on what you saw and the things that she was saying, you think she was reading from the Book of Nod. Now, you've never held a copy or read it yourself, but you have heard plenty of Tremere and plenty of kindred in the Ivory Tower talk about it. Some are really afraid of the things that are written in there. Some think it is absolutely not a thing, that it doesn't even exist. But you saw it with your own eyes.
I'm not going to share that information with Franklin, but I'm going to be very excited about
Yeah.
getting this information. And yeah.
Do you proceed inwards?
Yes. After Franklin, but yes.
Pushing the
Franklin,
door
you
open
said-
slowly,
You said you took
quietly as I
a
can.
deep breath before
Yeah.
you opened the door. Is that correct? Even though you don't have to.
Yeah.
You're going to wish that you didn't. Because what you breathe in, and Soraya and Kia, you smelled this as well as soon as you got on the interior. It smells like death in here. The distinct smell of decaying bodies, of viscera, of gore. It is an absolute horror show in here. The bookshelves are void of books. It's very dim. And everywhere you look is blood and organs of varying degrees of freshness. You don't see anyone right away, Franklin and Alina. But the other two, from your vantage point looking down, you see someone. She's in front of a banquet table that's set very nice. Candles and goblets and nice fine china. She's wearing a nun's habit that is smeared and stained with blood. Laying on the table is a person. Can't tell from up here if they're alive or not, but they are clearly meant to be the main course, this blood feast. And she is humming to herself, whispering to herself. You can't quite hear her from up there. But Franklin and Alina have not seen her yet. They are walking straight towards her, though.
And we can see Franklin and Alina too from our vantage
Yes.
point.
From your vantage point, you can see the entirety of this inner
Okay.
part of the library.
Do we recognize the body on the table?
No.
Okay.
We should probably do something about this.
Probably.
But then we lose the advantage of being stealth behind her.
It is up to you two who can see everything, whether you attack or alert or remain unseen.
I mean, look, I'm not one for patience, so I'm down to just jump right in. But I know that you type of people tend to be a little bit more strategic. But if you're on the same board as I am, I'm about to just jump and let's go.
Normally I would like to, I'm the type who to be patient, but I feel like if we wait and take our time, something bad might happen. So I'm with you on this one.
Cool. Like mid-sentence of her saying that, like I totally took that as the yes and just turned around and like just started, I'm going to jump down.
Before you jump down, let me ask, are you going to activate your feral weapons?
Heck yeah!
One more rouse check, please.
I pass.
Excellent. Strength and brawl as you jump down from the second story.
2, 3, 4.
Soraya, what are you doing?
I'm going to take my guns out of their holsters and jump down as well.
Jump down firing or just jump down?
Oh god, it'd be so dope to jump. I'm gonna jump down firing because that's just dope.
Composure and firearms.
Okay.
Oh, do I need to add my feral weapons?
You should add your no, for strength and brawl, no, you don't add your feral
Oh,
weapons.
okay. Cool.
You're just going to do a lot of nasty little damage.
I got 3 successes.
3 successes on composure firearms?
Yep.
All right. 5 successes on feral weapons. Here's what happens. Franklin and Alina, you continue walking down the library, and you barely see this strange banquet being laid out by this. She's covered in gore. She's absolutely horrific to look at. Before you can even react to the smell and the sight in front of you, Kia jumps down on top of her. The problem is, before she can make contact, a very large, what looks like a bull mastiff, I believe they're called, very large, maybe even a pit bull, huge dog, leaps from behind her and intercepts Kia. And Kia, please take 2 superficial damage as the dog bites down into you and forces your body to the left. You are in his mouth. Soraya, you jump down with composure firearms.
Mm-hmm.
A little bit more successful. And you shoot her, and she feels it, and she steps back 2 paces. And she seems completely shocked. Do you continue firing, or does anyone want to say anything to her?
I'm just going to continue.
Right now, Kia is in a little bit of distress.
I'm going to continue firing at her.
Mm-hmm.
Nope. Nobody
Franklin,
else.
Alina,
No
you
one's
see
talking to her.
this. Do you do anything?
Alina just says to Franklin, I guess the Dark Father thingy is not going to work. And she dives her hands in the bag and unscrews one of the vials with blood. But she still stays behind as furthest possible while seeing what's happening. And she unscrews the blood vial.
Okay. Are you doing the ritual right now?
I am soaking the poppy seeds in the blood in my hands, but I'm not.
Correct me if
doing the ritual.
I'm wrong. You need to roll an intelligence and blood sorcery for that ritual.
I guess I do. Yes.
Okay.
I just do. Intelligence plus blood sorcery.
Franklin, what are you doing? You watching the show? Bemoaning perhaps your socks that are probably soaking in blood at this moment. Oh, you're muted.
You're muted.
Shit. Franklin is looking at like the whole scene like, I should be doing something right now. Nope, that's not going to work. I'll just shoot. Because he goes to start talking, and then he's like, Nope.
No, my powers.
Composure and firearms.
I got another 3 successes on my next shot, by the way.
Excellent. Kia, how are you going to get this dog off of you?
Oh, I'd love to grab it by the snout and the jaw. And I love going to toe with a very hefty beast, and I'm going to just try to rip it open.
Okay, strength and brawl. We'll begin with Soraya's composure and firearms roll. That was 3 successes.
Yeah.
She rolled 3 successes to dodge. Ties tend to go to the defender, even our enemies. And she's able to jump back behind a bookshelf that has long fallen over, and your bullets slam into the wood.
Okay.
And in response, Kia, I need you to roll a animalism and charisma roll. Make it count.
That's 2 on that roll and a 4 to ripping at the beast.
2 on the animal roll?
Correct.
Because you are focused on taking out this bloodhound and you are able to force their jaw open enough where that they can't continue biting you, and they are taking damage, you can see the damage it's causing. But this dog isn't acting like a dog. It's acting like something other. It's been transformed into something other, and it's still trying to claw at you despite you severely damaging it. You're so focused on this that you can't really keep control of Shaki.
Mm-hmm.
All of you see this woman reach out towards Shaki with her hand. And suddenly, Franklin, Shaki turns on you, begins attacking you.
Oh no.
That power is atavism from Winter's Teeth, that I just really wanted to use it. So please, please make me either a dex athletics roll or something of your abilities that you'd like to do before you can shoot off that gun. Or would you like to use your composure firearms roll on Shocky? It's entirely up to you.
No, I'm not going to use composure firearms on Shocky. I am going to. Can I use cloud memory to make Shocky forget the order that he was just given?
Yes, but I'm going to require you again to make that an animal ken roll. So we're going to modify it a little bit. So roll me dominate and animal ken. Shocky is a dog.
So roll you dominate.
And not can't issue the same commands as you could to a human. Alina, how's your garden looking?
Pretty well. I did use 1 willpower, but I have 7 successes.
Mm-hmm.
And I would like to, especially in this situation now that I see Shaki being a little bit violent, I would like to throw the seeds from my bag in front of Franklin and possibly as further away as I can the rest of the seeds, just to aim them specifically at the dogs and under the dogs.
Okay. I would say you'd be able to throw it as far as Kia and the dog, but Kia's going to get stuck in it.
I'm going to risk it. Kia is very flexy. She can maybe get out of him.
Now, would you like to tell us exactly what happens? Now, Franklin, you're a little busy, but Soraya, you can see this. You can see she saw her reach in her bag, and you know a little blood magic, but this isn't blood magic that you're familiar with.
No.
And you see her throw something. What happens, Alina?
As she throws, I mean, you need to tell me how much I get with 7 successes, but as she throws the little items on the ground and
7 successes is significant.
Right, I
You
can go
can
overboard
really
then.
coax your garden with 7 successes.
Yes, so Alina coaxes the garden from under the building. The building still seems to be, of course, a little bit in a ruin, but whatever remains of the floors, whatever remains of the ground we are standing on starts to get bulgy with roots that spring open from it, form the trees and vines that make this very difficult path to cross. They're not actively attacking anyone. They're not like, poison ivy vines or anything like this, but they are basically creating this jungle from under the ground and spurting up.
With 7 successes, I would say you'd be able to have manipulated your blood magic enough that they will hold something in place.
Oh yeah.
So I would say that the dog is held in place, and Kia, you are also held in place. You can't move. The dog can't attack you anymore, but you can't move.
No reaction to it?
You may absolutely have a reaction to it. I was about to ask you.
Yeah,
How would you like to get out of it?
I was like, well, how fast is it coming out? Because I would totally take my nail file, who is very sharp, and if I'm getting tangled in it, I'm going to start cutting around.
You're getting tangled in it. I will absolutely say you can start cutting away from it so you don't get as trapped as the dog, but it's going to take you a minute to get through
That's
all of
fair.
this because it just keeps growing.
That I figured as much, but hopefully enough time to get the nail file out and just start like
Alina
trying
needs
to move.
Stop it, but it's not stopping. It's just growing.
Not really going to stop. She really made this one count.
Yeah.
Franklin, how's that dominate looking?
I got 3 successes, which is the best I could ask for on 3 dice.
Oh.
3 successes. Shocky stops attacking you. Looks very confused and looks at you like, why am I even near you? And runs off to Kia and starts helping her pull herself out of these brambles.
Excellent.
The woman says, if you wanted an invitation to the feast, all you needed to do was ask. You watch her begin to turn translucent. She's mostly covered in her habit, but her arms are free and her face is free. You see her skin come almost see-through. You can almost see the bookshelves and things behind it. And the body on the banquet table opens up. And the blood comes out in a spiral out of the body, and she begins absorbing it through her hands, through her body, and healing any damage that she took from your guns as she's doing it. But this takes time to do it.
Yeah,
So
I'm
she's
gonna
open free at the moment.
I'm gonna
Capping
shoot her
right
again.
now.
I'm gonna shoot her. Yeah. Oh, I got 4 successes.
It's an excellent amount. Franklin, are you shooting her as well?
Actually, no.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to try to direct her and use nurture directive because I want her to take a walk. Just take a stroll, maybe go see the grounds.
Okay.
She can walk into my machete.
Yeah, I know this will disrupt when some people start shooting at her, but I want her
It will.
to stop doing what she's
Yeah.
doing.
So,
that's really the key.
Let's say I shot first and then you did your thing.
So let's do it exactly that way. Let's say she's taken 2 superficial damage from the gunshots before, and now 4 more superficial damage. She's not looking that great. She can't really resist you right now because right now she's absorbing this blood. She's trying to mend herself as she absorbs the blood entirely out of this person who was, unfortunately, still alive. Franklin, would you like to try and mesmerize her?
Yes.
Kia, you have freed yourself with the help of Shaki. And Alina, your vines have almost completely enveloped this hound, but they have stopped growing.
Is the hound's head out still?
Yeah,
Yes.
can it slow breathe?
I'm going to try to make eye contact with it to see if I can discern as to whether or not maybe it's a kindred or is it fully a hound. I don't know if I can do that, but I'm going to try.
Intelligence animal can. What was your roll, Franklin?
Four successes.
I will allow her to attempt to resist. Actually, I don't think her intelligence is that high. No, it's not. How unfortunate. 4 to 4. You reach out with your mind and your vitae. Did you make me a rouse check for that, by the way?
Oh, yeah. No success on that.
Makes you to 4 hunger, Franklin. Just a little bit more.
Oh,
And you're
and
going
at that
to
point,
eat whatever's around.
Franklin's hands open up holes in his hands and just start bleeding freely because stigmata.
I wasn't sure if Franklin, in your description said Franklin wears gloves. I wasn't sure if he was wearing gloves or not.
Yeah, he's wearing gloves. But once they pool up with blood, he just kind of takes them off because he's around other kindred, and it's just blood pouring off of his hands.
It's very
Oh,
fascinating.
that's not
Alina.
good. That's not good at all.
Kia. You've been around Shaki long enough. She's been your famulus for almost 20 years now. This bloodhound, there's no personality in there like Shaki has. There's no bond in there. It is a servant. It is forced to be this way. It's been manipulated, the body. It's not like any ghouled animal that you're aware of.
I'm just gonna put my hand over its head and kind of like give an apology, and I'm gonna look at the woman and be like, but I'm noticing what's happening over to Franklin, and I believe we would all smell that blood. Am I correct?
Correct.
Could we smell it over all the gore and stuff in the room?
A fresh bleeding kindred? Yes.
Okay.
Smells better than any blood that you feast on usually. Alina.
Yes.
I will let you know. Did you see the Book of Nod? Right on that banquet, right by where all the blood has almost completely left this person.
Yeah, let's make sure that happens. I mean, not that. Let's make sure that this doesn't really fuel the lady too much. I would like to extinguish Vitae before I try to get my hands on Book of Knot.
Make that roll.
Cool. Here. I did
not
Roche check, success, by the way.
Stamina and composure is also not a great roll for her.
I'm going to re-roll 3 of my not successful dice, and I have a total of 5 successes.
Yep. You extinguish her vitae, even though she has completely absorbed all the blood from this poor mortal who was meant for this blood feast. She finds as she finishes her ritual, it has done nothing. And she's furious. She's quite injured as well. She looks at you, Alina, and she says, I can see it in you. You're worthy. Come here.
I shoot her.
Mm-hmm.
3 successes.
With 3 successes, you've completely emptied your clip, at least of one of your guns at this point. She's taken enough superficial damage. It's converted to aggravated. She falls to the ground in torpor.
I want to pounce.
Yes.
I was waiting for her to fall.
The question is what you do now. You take the Book of Knot.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It's really, really old. It's the oldest book you think you've ever held in your hands. And it's smeared in blood. Every page.
You're not trying to hide the fact that you grabbed this book, right?
No, I don't hide it in my pocket. It's too big, I assume.
No, I mean, like, I didn't know if you were, like, trying to, like, subtly grab it while we were distracted or something like that.
No subtle in that curiosity.
Now's not the time for reading.
Are we done with her? Is there...
She is not dead.
I'm jumping on her to, like, sink my fangs into her, so...
Are you doing the diablerie thing?
What?
We shouldn't allow this. This is against all of everything.
We should bring her in the state to Prince.
I played the
steak. Steak, but no, don't do that.
I mean, I don't see anything that's happening right now.
Franklin, we should stop her. Come on, this is.
I am not in the best old ways right now myself. As you see his hands bleeding. Can you like?
So is Kia actively trying to diablerize right now? Is she doing it? Is she fancying?
No, I'm trying to finish her. She fell over, right? So just gonna pounce and sink my things into her to get her to like quell, not try to actively diablerize her yet.
You're just gonna like
you got a steak?
rip the artery out.
Do you have a steak?
I might have a steak, actually. Do I have a steak?
Alita, you have a steak?
Can I have a steak? I probably should have a
I'd say you have a whole bag of tricks with you, that you would be the only one with a steak.
Yeah, I take...
Cool, I was just gonna rip the altar.
I take a perfect steak out of my bag. So
as you take the steak out and you walk over to it, you suddenly hear a cacophony of voices from above you. They're saying, no, don't stake her. Drink her blood. Do it. She was weak. Drink her blood.
Oh, no. Don't drink her blood then.
No, don't do
absolutely
this
not.
And as you look up, you see there's a dozen, maybe more. Thin, scrawny, rough-looking kindred, all looking down at you from above.
Can I shoot the one who talked?
You're not sure which one talked. There's maybe 12 of them. And they're saying, do it. If you won't drink her blood, we will. It is the will of Cain. Multiple voices are screaming at you. Let us have her.
Alina, first thing she does is take the book of notes.
Mhm.
Very
I
quick.
hold
No,
my
you do
hand.
notice.
I hold my hand out to Alina, like, hurry up, give me the steak. And I'm just gonna plunge it in her.
And Alina quickly unscrews another vial of blood and gets
Mhm.
more poppy seeds in her hand.
As soon as you pierce her heart with the stake, these kindred become incensed. And they all leap down at once.
Sorry. Guns out.
You
I'm like,
you being a little too Rambo.
And
yeah,
they
pop a clip in
converge
my.
on your area, but they don't
Okay.
seem to be going to attack any of you. They want her.
No.
And Kia, they are going to be rough, push you out of the way. If you'd like to try and stop them or grab the body quick enough, you can.
Yeah,
Or
I
you
want to
can
grab the
let
body.
them devour this priestess.
Yeah, no, that's bad. Picking up the body.
Okay.
Can Franklin and I be shooting at them?
oh yeah, I'm like, y'all
'Cause-
got to
Can.
back up.
Because yeah.
Let me preface this way. Are you shooting and running or
Yes.
shooting and standing?
I am shooting and running.
I'm shooting and
I need to
running.
get out of here because I'm hungry and I have a
Alina,
very
are you running?
particular type
Running,
of food that I like.
throwing seeds. I'm going to very quickly roll for
Okay.
another ritual.
So we're going to do 2 and out. Kia, I'm going to need you to make a Dex Athletics roll to see if you can grab the body quick enough and fast enough. And I'm going to need to make let's say a Strength Athletics roll to grab the body and a Dex Athletics roll to get out.
Okay. Woo! Can you type?
Sora-
Oh, like, might need to type that. Hold on, one more time.
Strength Athletics and Dex Athletics. 2 rolls. Soraya,
Mhm.
Composure Firearms and Dex
Yep.
Athletics.
Okay.
Franklin, same roll.
Okay.
And Alina, Intelligence and Blood Sorcery, Dex and Athletics.
And Dex and Athletics too. Oh no.
Because you are outnumbered and surrounded. 2 to 1, if not more.
I get
I'm
real
gonna-
nervous when I'm only rolling blood dice.
I'm gonna rouse.
Can't imagine why.
I,
All right, so I got 4 successes on the Composure Firearms, and I got a critical 4 on the
The Dex
Dex
Athletics.
Athletics.
I got 4 successes for both.
Mind you, that was all on blood dice.
Lucky Venture. Kia, what are your rolls?
For strength and athletics, I got a 4, and then for dex and athletics, I got a 3.
Would you make me one more roll for your dog?
My pup. Which one?
Make let's say, make your dog a stamina and composure roll. Alina.
5 successes on the ritual.
Mm-hmm.
1 success in Dex and Athletics.
That is not the best. We just need Shaki's roll.
So I got a critical on it, so
Excellent.
5.
Here's what happens. Kia, seeing these kindred descend upon you, immediately you grab the body of this priestess. Shaki is with you every moment of the way. She doesn't leave your side. She matches you step for step as if you are kindred spirits. Pun intended. Franklin and Soraya, you immediately shoot your way, shoot a passageway out of these kindred, enough that you can make your egress. And you turn around and keep shooting as you back your way out of the library. Alina, you do your ritual once again, and you coax your garden and trap quite a significant number of these kindred within this library. But not all of them. As you turn to run, you trip and fall over a piece of wood, maybe a book that's fallen on the floor, you're not quite sure, and you fall to the ground. All of you see this, One of you can try and save her. Kia, your hands are full. But one of you can try and save her, or you are out if you leave. If you
What
go
is
back
the-
to help her, maybe not.
I'm going to go back to help her.
What about you, Franklin?
Franklin does not.
Okay. Kia, Franklin, and Shocky leave the library out the front door, running out into the night. Soraya, what do you do?
How far away from me is she?
I'd say about 10 feet. Not
She's
far.
hugging Book of
Okay.
Nuts very closely.
I am going to go in there and grab her and drag her out.
I'm still watching. I'm just not running back.
Yeah, of course.
Would you like to provide suppressing fire for them, Franklin?
Yes. As soon as I see that she has Alina's hand, I'll start shooting just to make sure that I don't hit any of them by
Then we'll do it this way. Make that composure firearms roll. I want to
Okay.
see how many successes you get, how well you can suppress the fire, and that will determine for me the difficulty for Soraya to rescue Alina.
Oh, Lord.
Rolling with mostly blood dice as well may not be that easy.
I am going to blow willpower because I still have a little bit left. 3 successes.
Soraya, I need you to roll a dex athletics roll or a strength athletics roll, whichever is better for you, to rescue Alina, and I need you to beat 3 successes. Or Alina will be diablerized or bitten into by one of these ravenous kindred who wanted the priestess, and you said no.
Okay. You said dex athletics or strength athletics. Okay.
Whichever is easier for you.
I'm gonna do. Well, I'm really nervous. Okay.
It's kind of my
And-
thing when I run games.
Yeah. And would this be a non-combat dex check?
It would be.
Okay, cool.
If you'd like to call upon the
gonna
power
ask
of your
Verity.
blood and give yourself an extra dice, you can, but you risk the hunger.
I'm gonna do that too.
Mhm.
And then hold on. Okay. Ooh, okay. I got 4 successes.
4 successes is exactly what you needed. Franklin, suppressing fire, you start shooting off randomly into the crowd, high enough so that you do not hit your compatriots. And quick as lightning, Soraya, you turn on your heel as you are making your way out. And you see Alina has fallen. You run, you grab her. You can't quite pull her all the way up. You don't really have the time, so you drag her out. She's clutching the Book of Nod, but you're strong and fast enough to drag her past Franklin. Now, the question is, Kia, you're already out. You're waiting for them to come out. How are you going to stop them from following you?
Me?
As they're coming out the door, are you going to try and barricade it, block it, or are you just running right for the car and let them follow you into the night?
I'm running for the car because I got a body in my hand,
You
so
do.
it'd be great to have someone to help me unlock the door.
Yeah, I opened the door for sure.
Yeah. Franklin's
Wait,
driver
don't
is
you have
still
a
there.
driver? Your driver's still there.
Franklin's driver is still there. He's at the ready.
Great. So I'm like yelling at him like, open the freaking trunk.
Do all of you
don't-
pile into the car as quickly as possible?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And before you are scot-free, these kindred are following you. The ones that did not get enveloped in this coaxing garden. Not that many of them, maybe 5. But it's enough to stop your car. Franklin, give me 2 dex drive rolls. And let's see if you can lose them into the night. If Soraya would like to help you by shooting outside the car,
Yep.
I will allow her to, and make your need for successes be slightly less.
I'm gonna expend willpower.
Mhm.
Okay. I got 4 successes.
Mhm. That's going to help out a lot.
I have 2 successes.
Well, that's fine. With Soraya's 4 successes, shooting at these, and shooting quite accurately at these crazed thin bloods, you assume, who are chasing after you. And your driver is a little wary. Some of them get real close to the tires, but they don't quite get the chance to leap on the car. And he's able to lose them in a side street. You have been successful this evening of removing a Sabbat priestess out of the community, let's call it. But if anything is clear, it's cutting off this head has not killed the snake. And that is where we're going to end our V5 Sabbat one-shot. I do hope you enjoyed yourselves. You guys were absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for being awesome.
Oh,
That was so
thank you
fun.
so much. That was so much fun.
Thank you so much.
I mean,
for
I
so
couldn't have
much.
asked for better players. You guys were so fantastic. Thank you so much for making
Yeah.
it
Ask
so
for a
easy.
better storyteller. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You're amazing. Our
Thank you.
amazingness was just a reflection of how amazing of a storyteller you are.
And
Agreed.
Amir, you have to promise me to play Franklin somewhere, and tell me, like, tag me in whatever it is. So I
You should
can
bring
beat him.
I got
Franklin.
you.
You should bring Franklin into Philly by night.
And Cynthia, please do a cosplay of Tamika because you got it. You've already done it.
Yeah,
You
thank
look
you.
amazing.
I
So amazing.
thank you. I sadly I haven't played that game yet, but I looked at a lot of pictures of her and she looks awesome. So I
My
better go.
favorite character from Coteries is Tamika.
She's really cool.
I gotta go look.
Mhm. And Fairbear, thank you so much. I have actually never had a Banu Hakim player, so thank you
Oh, okay.
so much.
No
And-
problem.
I mean, it was really fun, and I hope more people play Banu Hakim in my games because it was really fun to look at your sheet and see what you put down. And
I find them to like I've never played a Banu, as I said up top, but it was very very interesting reading up on them and seeing like the abilities they have and stuff. And I'm like, more people should play this. This is
super
dope.
underrated clan.
Yeah.
Everyone should try out Banu Hakim.
I
And
play one.
Outstar, thank you so much for asking me if you could have a Bahari power, because that was super great.
Yes, I specifically wanted to get something from that book for Alina. It was super fun to play a Tremere, actually. I had so much fun.
Yeah, and you played a very uptight librarian type Tremere,
Yeah.
which is, so unlike you, because I played games with you.
I know, like I wanted to try something different, and I'm happy that I was able to do it in a super cool coterie like this one. So hey.
Fantastic. I hadn't been watching the chat at all. I hope the chat was enjoying the game as well.
They were.
They were
Yeah.
good. I haven't been either because of I just can't focus on that and
I can't
play at the
storytell
same
and watch
time.
the chat. It's too much.
Yeah, that's
for
tough
my
to
brain.
do.
Yeah.
I 100%
for
hope
sure.
that these characters come back though, because this was a fun little group.
Absolutely.
this was a
I would
lot of
be
fun.
definitely down if we want to do a follow-up. I'm definitely down for it.
Hey,
Same.
you know who to send? Send it to Outstar.
Sure, like welcome in. It was super fun. I would love to do more. And also, of course, this is going to be archived on VOD and on YouTube, so everyone will be able to check it out on World of Darkness YouTube. And join us for more Month of Darkness stuff because there's still a week left, and we have a lot of
Yep,
things
there's still a
planned.
whole week.
Yeah.
So thank you, everybody. You're all absolutely amazing, and I hope everyone has a wonderful night, morning, afternoon, wherever you are.
Thank you. Bye, chat.